to stay. Want you to stay.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here, and a few weeks ago I saw the best film of the year in my opinion at the Chicago Critics Film Festival. That is Celine Song's directorial debut, Past Lives, and it is astoundingly good. It comes out in theaters in limited release this weekend. I've been very excited to talk about this, and it's so perfect. It got a bunch of Sundance hype, and that's where you probably all heard about it. I was very excited for it ever since, and I mean, it lived up to every expectation, if not exceeded it. Following After Sun last year with Charlotte Wells, this is the second consecutive year where a directorial debut has made me sob so hard I couldn't even comprehend. Like, this is a debut film. And Past Lives, it's filled with so much emotional depth and maturity that is matched with Song's confidence to those themes in her filmmaking. She's a filmmaking voice that we should all keep in mind and remember for the coming years. She's something special. So for those of you who don't know, the film follows Nora and Hae-sung, two deeply connected childhood friends who lose connection after Nora's family immigrates from South Korea to America. After a decade, they briefly reunite through video calls. Then a decade after that, they are reunited for one fateful week. Only this time, Nora is married to an American husband named Arthur. The three have to grapple with their own ideas of love, destiny, and identity. Celine Song absolutely crushes it on the writing and directing front, but this is also a very performance-driven film. Greta Lee portrays Nora, Yoo Tae-oh plays Hae-sung, and John Magaro is wonderful as Arthur. And all of their performances and the way that they play off of each other just struck something deep within me and made me so deeply emotional. And just looking around the theater, it was hard to find a dry eye. And the film, it paints love, loss, and human connection in such a tender but specific light. It's never overbearing. It never devolves to a melodrama and, about love triangle. And it would be very easy to do that. But it never degrades itself to that type of soap opera style, but it still manages to create tension. And there aren't necessarily good or bad characters or right or wrong characters, but just simply human characters. I'm going to butcher the exact quote, but in the post-film Q&A, Celine Song said about the film something along the lines of, it isn't about not enough love to go around between characters, but about too much love to go around and the characters not being able to contain their love to one life. There are two very specific types of films that will make me cry. The ones that are sad and the ones that are beautiful. And while Past Lives is tinged with melancholy throughout, the film isn't deeply sad. Rather, it just portrays deeply human characters feeling deeply human emotions. Past Lives focuses a lot around themes of memory. It expertly develops layered connection between the characters. And while I do think it's incredibly reductive to just call this a new take on the Before trilogy, I find myself returning consistently to a quote from Before Sunset.
Memory's a wonderful thing if you don't have to deal with the past.
It's one of my favorite quotes, and I think it applies very directly to the film. Hae-sung wants to stay in the present, and Arthur wants to create memory in the present for the future. And at the same time, Nora is caught between them. She's caught between future, past, and present. She's also caught between two identities, Hae-sung's, who she describes as Korean, and her American husband. As a Korean American, she must confront both her own internal identity, but also the identities of the two most important people in her past, present, and future. Yet through all of this, and I cannot stress this enough, it never becomes a melodramatic love triangle. It is just simply people working through their complicated connections by understanding their own definitions of past, present, and future. And that's what makes this film so special. It is so impressive to me that Celine Song was able to pull this off in her debut. I truly think this is the best film of the year, and I don't know if anything will be able to pass it. Some films just give me a feeling, and last year that came with After Sun, Everything Ever All at Once, and Babylon. And it's a feeling that just, it stirs something deep within my soul, and it's a feeling that redefines the way I think about life and film and all of these things. It's really hard to describe, but Past Lives is the first film of the year to give me that feeling, and I cannot wait to rewatch it so I can feel that again. So this is a channel where we talk about awards, so let's talk about this film's Oscar buzz. So I'll just come out and say it. I have this at number one for Best Picture right now. Is that maybe a stretch? Probably. There's a lot of big things to come out. Killers of the Flower Moon just came out at Cannes. I mean, lots of massive things, but it feels like it could fit a potential Coda package. I mean, Everything Ever All at Once just won for A24 last year, and I don't think it's going to be that type of smash box office hit, but I also don't think it needs to be. Like, Coda wouldn't have made barely any money, even if it released, like, now in theaters, but it was a streaming thing during COVID. But regardless, like, it feels like something that can win screenplay. And if you can win screenplay, you can win Best Picture. That's just as simple as it is. And people have made concerns about it winning the acting category. Spotlight did win off of just screenplay and picture, but I do genuinely think that John Magaro has a chance at winning supporting actor. He kind of has like a big emotional core of the film. The film really does center around Greta Lee. And a lot of the big, pieces of plot development within the film comes with her connection with Uteo. But John Magaro has some absolutely fantastic monologues, and he has one specific monologue that kind of epitomizes, I think, the whole idea of the film and the whole central thesis of the film. And he also has some of the biggest laughs. This film is surprisingly funny. I wasn't expecting it to be as humorous as it was, but it has kind of a playful tone at points, and a lot of that is led through John Magaro's character. So I could see voters really falling in love with him if this does end up big. I mean, if A24 decides to make this their top priority, it can make sense. Like, it touches on important things that people, want to vote for, things like immigration and connection and identity and all these types of things. It feels relevant. It has a cast that can be very easy to get behind. It has that indie spirit. Like, I could see a path for this film. I don't feel confident about it, but I could see a path. I don't think that UTO has as strong of a chance as Greta Lee and John Magaro do to get nominations, just because his role is a bit more subdued. It's a lot more of like a subtle role, and he isn't in the film really that much. I mean, I don't even know if you would call him a lead. Like, he might even go supporting, in which case Magaro would even be stronger. So that could be interesting. Greta Lee, just fantastic. And like I said, I think that this can win screenplay. And if you can win screenplay, you can win Best Picture. As far as text, the editing is fantastic. How its usage of framing devices, and playing with time and a bit of non-linear storytelling is just really, really impactfully done. And there's a couple cuts right towards the end of the film that are just emotionally like heartbreaking, that are pulled just through the structure of the editing. It's really, really fantastic, but that would only be if this film was just a massive hit. So as of now, I feel good about it getting a picture, actress, supporting actor, and screenplay nomination. I think director and then UTO, whether he's actor or supporting actor, are possible, but I don't feel super confident. And I don't know. I have this as my number one for Best Picture right now, is kind of following the Coda path. But we'll see what A24 can do with the campaign. Regardless, this film is so, so special. I might just be hope addicting since it is my favorite film of the year, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon. I'm obviously going to be giving this a 10 out of 10. And it's genuinely like, this is, I mean, pretty, might be in my top 100 of all time, if I'm being honest. It's really, really special. It's really, really special. I can't wait for all of you guys to see it. But that is it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. You can follow us on the social media thing, on all the description, all the things. And if you like this, you might like other things. So stick around, maybe, I guess. But until next time, thank you everybody so much for watching, and goodbye.